Gentleman yields back. The lady from Texas is recognized.
Man, oh man, there has been so much today, and I truly don't know where to start. So I'm just going to make sure that we start off with a few facts. So a couple of facts that we need to make clear for everyone is that, number one, Director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that you are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So before you were even confirmed, and I think one of my colleague from Georgia, pointed out that you are already targeting career officials so that you could direct illegal firings. Mind you, these cases that you were so upset about, which are the ones tied to Trump, the cases came through his handpicked FBI director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, you know, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists, because I specifically as a black woman definitely don't feel safe. And frankly, my colleagues have been real nice to you today, and I applaud them, but I don't have the same demeanor because I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle have faced death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues. And frankly, I don't know if this FBI or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught. I don't have any confidence in you. And if we start talking about the reasons that I lack confidence, we could start with you not just wanting to acknowledge some simple facts. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism. And I know my colleagues have tried to stress this, but I decided that I would maybe do it in a different way. Number one, I have a couple of UCs. Kim Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker.
Without objection.
Another one, Republican lawmaker says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race.
Without objection.
In addition, there was another one from another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
Without objection.
Okay, so here's the deal. How are we supposed to have confidence when you're sitting up here telling the Senate yesterday that it will take you 14 years before you can get the FBI fully staffed to do their jobs? You're also now redirecting resources so that they can go and play ICE agents on the streets. You're getting rid of your most qualified people. And even when it came down to somebody that you consider to be a friend, you were posted up having some fancy dinner to the extent that you posted not only once erroneously, you posted twice erroneously as it relates to catching somebody. And then you want to go and say, let me take a victory lap. Because honestly, if it wasn't for parents deciding that they were going to turn in their child, it seems like y'all wouldn't have got there. Even though he literally confessed online. So I'm confused about what it is that the FBI is doing except for trying to put on a show for the apprentice or whatever you want to call him. The day after all of this took place, there was domestic terrorism that was taking place at HBCUs. They were targeted. Yet I didn't hear anything from the FBI about what was going on. And again, black people kept saying, how did we end up in this? Because the numbers are so very clear that white supremacy is a problem. And honestly, I've not heard anything out of you today that makes me believe that you're going to do anything about the white supremacy problem, the one that is leading to children being killed, children being shot, as well as members of their community as they're worshiping in their churches.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. If the gentleman would like to respond to any of that. Well, I mean, I'll respond. Kash Patel, as I said when I introduced him, public defender, former prosecutor, top staffer on the House Intelligence Committee, Deputy Director of National Intelligence with the National Security Council, Chief of Staff at the Department of Defense, and FBI Director. I think that's a pretty good resume for the guy who's now running the top law enforcement agency in our country. And we've seen all the stats that he's given to the committee on how much better they're doing at getting the bad guys than the previous guy was doing. With that, I recognize the gentleman from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I think you're witnessing some auditions. So let me get this straight. According to Jasmine Crockett, Republicans are apparently the problem because we're too focused on stopping illegal alien crime and not busy enough sending out more thoughts and prayers after school shootings. That's the brilliant argument. This is the level of debate we're getting in Congress now. She stands there, throws out buzzwords about January 6th, white supremacy, TikTok videos, and somehow we're supposed to forget that an American girl named Kayla Hamilton was brutally murdered by an MS-13 gang member who never should have been here in the first place. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty tired of this playbook. Every time Democrats get cornered on an actual policy issue, they suddenly pivot to gun control or racism or anything else that distracts from the reality. Crockett says you don't need to name a bill after a victim to pass legislation. Really? Then why mock a bill that actually could have saved lives? Why downplay the murder of Kayla Hamilton by calling her a random dead girl? That's not just disrespectful. It's insulting to every family who's lost someone at the hands of an illegal immigrant criminal. Russell Fry, to his credit, didn't take the bait. He stood his ground and laid out the facts. The Kayla Hamilton Act isn't complicated. When an unaccompanied minor crosses the border, you check for gang tattoos, you call the country of origin, you find out if this kid has a rap sheet. That's not cruelty, that's common sense. But apparently common sense is now controversial if it doesn't fit the Democrats' immigration fairy tale. Here's what really bothers me. Crockett tried to score cheap political points while ignoring the elephant in the room. Illegal immigration is fueling gangs like MS-13, and innocent Americans are paying the price. Democrats would rather defend criminals than protect families. They'll accuse you of being heartless for wanting vetting, but where's their compassion when it comes to Kayla Hamilton? Where's their outrage for the thousands of Americans killed by people who shouldn't even be here? Silence. And let's not gloss over Fry's point. It wasn't the federal government that discovered Hamilton's murderer was MS-13. It was a local cop who picked up the phone. The system failed. Washington didn't do its job, and Democrats want to keep it that way because actually fixing the border crisis would blow up their entire narrative about compassionate immigration. So yes, Fry was right to push back and refuse to yield. Because when you're dealing with someone who thinks TikTok dances are more important than national security, why waste time? The truth is simple. Americans want safety. Americans want accountability. Americans are tired of being told their lives matter less than the comfort of illegal immigrants. Now, Crockett can rant all she wants about Republicans being selective. But let me tell you what's really selective. Ignoring a murdered American teenager so you can protect the feelings of illegal gang members. That's not leadership. That's cowardice. At the end of the day, this wasn't just a debate. This was a clear picture of the divide in our country. On one side, Republicans saying, let's use a little common sense, protect our people, and stop releasing gang members into our neighborhoods. On the other side, Democrats crying about white supremacy while defending policies that literally put MS-13 on our streets. You tell me who's serious about protecting this country. So here's my reaction. Fry exposed the truth, and Crockett exposed herself. One side's fighting for the American people, the other's fighting for criminals. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know heading